Hello and welcome to New Mexico Rising. My name is Dan. You know, each and every week I try to bring people from across the country to talk to me about things we could do right here in New Mexico. On this week's show, this.
Breakfast around my house is usually a scramble.
We have all that and more right here on New Mexico Rising. Breast cancer is a significant concern for many. With HER2 positive cases making up nearly 20% of diagnoses, today we're joined by Dr. Jehanzeb Riaz, a medical oncologist from the Oklahoma University Health Stevenson Cancer Center. He's here to discuss how he's tackling this challenge head on. Welcome to the show, Dr. Riaz. How are you?
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm Dr. Riaz. I'm here on behalf of Genentech and very excited to talk about breast cancer and to create some awareness. And like you said, you know, HER2 positive breast cancer is about 20% of all the cases of breast cancer. This is one of the cancers that we see very commonly. HER2 positive cases are usually more aggressive types of breast cancers. However, recently we have some breakthrough treatments and we are able to make a big impact in our cancer patients and able to improve the outcomes a whole lot in this patient population.
A breast cancer diagnosis could feel pretty overwhelming. What are some of the current treatment options available?
So when we see breast cancer patients, typically these patients go through several different treatments. So there are some surgical treatments, radiation treatment, chemotherapies, targeted therapies, hormonal therapies. So there are a lot of different treatment options available to treat breast cancer. And we use a combination of these options for any particular case. But every case is different, so it is very important to know the detail of each breast cancer because one patient's cancer can be very different from other patient breast cancer. So it is very important to know what is the hormone receptor status like estrogen receptor, progesterone receptor, and what is the HER2 receptor status if it is positive or negative, because the treatments can vary if it is positive or not. It is an ongoing struggle and work. How can we make these patients' quality of life better? And lately, there are a lot of developments, and one such development is a medicine named Phesgo, which is a subcutaneous injection for targeted medicines. So historically, we were doing these medicines through the intravenous route, and typically it will take about 2 to 3 hours to administer the medicines. But with the help of this new medicine, Phesgo, we are able to do the subcutaneous injection in 5 to 10 minutes, which saves a lot of time for these patients, and they are able to maintain their lifestyle. They are able to work and carry on their life without much interruption from the cancer treatments.
Given that everybody kind of leads a different lifestyle, how do you tailor treatment plans to fit each patient's unique needs?
So everybody is very different. Every patient has a different type of cancer. Every patient has a different set of medical problems. So we take into account all these factors before we come up with a final treatment plan. So the type of cancer, what are their medical issues? What are their other comorbid conditions? If somebody has any heart issues or lung issues. So when we are coming up with a treatment plan, we think about all these other problems that patient have. So we have to individualize the treatment plan based on each patient's profile. And that typically involves having an open discussion before the patients commit to a particular treatment. Luckily, there are more than one treatment options available for any given breast cancer. So it is very important to know what are the upside and downside of each option. And then we educate the patients about all these options, and we discuss their side effects, and then we let the patient decide as to what option they would like to do, and then we work with the patient and manage those side effects that may come along the way.
And we're kind of running out of time. What questions should patients be asking their doctors to ensure that they're kind of getting the best treatment for their situation?
So it is very important for every patient to know about their type of breast cancer. You know, the detail of this thing is very important to help them understand what type of cancer they have, because each type has a different prognosis, a different treatment options. So Knowing the detail of each patient cancer is very important for them. Then the second most important thing is having an open discussion with their doctor, knowing all the treatment options that are available. What is the upside and downside of each option? How each option can impact their quality of life? What are the side effects? How those side effects going to play into their role? Are those side effects really limiting and can interfere with their lifestyle or not? So this is a very loaded discussion that patients need to have with their doctors on the upfront side before they commit to any treatment.
All right, where can we go for more information and learn about some of these treatment options?
They can go to www.phesgo.com and get more information about the treatment options for the HER2 positive breast cancer. And they can also visit the American Cancer Society, and there is a lot of literature available to review for them.
Thank you, Dr. Riaz.
Thank you very much.
In today's financial landscape, understanding how we spend and save has never been more crucial. So joining us today is Bob Legters, Senior Vice President of Product and PaySafe. He's here with our latest survey revealing how spending habits are evolving and what this kind of means for our future. Let's welcome to the show, Bob. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great. How are you today?
Doing good. Can you give us a quick overview of the survey and some of the most surprising findings?
Sure. The survey was 14,500 consumers in the US, Europe, the UK, and Latin America. For the most part, the information is pretty much the same in all three with some small changes by region. Interesting findings for us where, there's a significant shift in spend that's happening, and we've seen about 50% of the consumers have changed the way that they've spent over the last couple of years. And in the last year specifically, the increase in groceries is noticed worldwide. About 70% of respondents said that they're paying more for groceries now than they have before. About 36% added in that streaming services have become a significant portion of their budget, and they're spending more on streaming services than they were a year before. So we're seeing that impact on how they're compartmentalizing and budgeting money for entertainment and travel and kind of discretionary spend. Some of the other things we noticed were that savings down a little bit from previous years in regards to about 7% as the average savings across that base. But investment is up, meaning that they're focused on making their money work more for them, right? So while you might be saving some and investing some, now that focus on investment and the need to get a better return on that money is growing with the consumer base.
So what do you think has driven such a shift in consumer spending habits over the past year?
Well, certainly the different products and services that are out there, right? Streaming services is a market that's exploded, and there's many more of them available, and the content in those spaces has exploded. So we expected to see that go up. We expected to see travel and entertainment go up as again those venues have grown and the opportunities are growing more and more. There's a lot of explanations for rent and utilities and groceries and those type of things. I think what we've seen the most is the consumers really evolve the way that they're paying, right? They don't only use a debit card or a credit card anymore. The digital wallets, direct bank transfers, and other methods of payment are growing in all of those markets. And some of them are getting very specific. If I'm doing this type of transaction, I'm using this tool. If I'm doing this, I'm using that tool. And so we're seeing the consumers get much more savvy about tracking and managing their spend across multiple tools.
So when you look at different generations, do you see any significant differences in how they manage their spending and saving?
Well, you certainly see differences in the spending versus savings in the boomers and Gen X to millennials and Gen Z, mainly because of the availability and discretionary funds, right, of the time frame that each of those has had in their own financial lives. Certainly, we see it was a bit of a surprise to see the Gen Z at over 80% focused on investment, where you'd typically see that much lower in the younger generations. So happy to see them taking a much more responsible approach to their finances as they go forward. In the areas of like AI, we saw a greater portion of the older consumers concerned with AI being a part of their payment devices, and kind of the security and the monitoring and the privacy of that was a little more invasive, where the younger generations were fine with that, or there was a greater percentage that responded that didn't bother them as much. The place where that resonates for all consumers, though, is the look for deals and offers and making sure they're getting the best value for their dollar has never been higher, and a lot more focus on finding the merchants and the shopping and the places where the deals and the value proposition is really there. And so we're seeing a lot more adoption in the digital wallets as people are changing the merchants that they shop at, because the digital wallet gives you that extra layer of security of protecting your credentials against, sharing it with a merchant that you may or may not frequent.
With so many payment options available, how can consumers make sure their payments are secure?
Well, making sure your payment is safe is the number one priority I would give to any consumer, right? Protecting your money is naturally principle. One is make sure that you're never sharing payment credentials unless you're on a protected site or that you're on a known site and a trusted site. And so you can do a lot of research on that to make sure before you set up payment credentials on any site. If you're not frequenting the merchant, you really should be looking for a tool like a digital wallet, right? If I'm making a purchase, for a friend or for an event or doing it one time over the period of 6 or 12 months, your payment information can typically, can reside somewhere for a long time. So sharing what information you can, preventing the sharing of that information goes a long way into protecting your data. And probably the most important thing is monitor your transactions. Use these tools that are in the market, the digital apps, the digital wallets, to keep track of transactions, watch what happens when they do. The more real time you are about monitoring your spend and looking at that, the more realistic it's going to be that you're going to be able to protect yourself against bad transactions or identity theft or fraud.
Bob Legters, thanks for joining me this morning. Where can my audience go for more information?
The full report is at paysafe.com. And if you want to learn more about digital wallets, you can go to skrill.com, skrill.com.
Thanks for joining me this morning, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
Plaque psoriasis affects millions of Americans, touching every aspect of their lives. So today, we're joined by Nitika Chopra, founder of the Chronicon and a passionate advocate living with this condition, and Dr. James Libecco, a leading dermatologist, to discuss how patients can take control of their health and navigate their treatment options with confidence. Welcome to the show, you two. How are you?
Doing well. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Can you start by explaining what plaque psoriasis is and how it impacts those who are living with it?
Sure. Yeah, I'm here partnering with Bristol Myers Squibb and the So Have You Found It campaign to help educate on psoriasis, which is a chronic inflammatory condition that results in the immune system causing the skin cells to turn over too quickly on the skin, resulting in the classic red and scaly areas on the skin, classically involving the back of the scalp, the elbows, the knees, but really anywhere on the body, typically beginning in early adulthood, although it can really develop at any point in time.
So what should patients keep in mind when preparing to discuss their condition and treatment with their dermatologist?
Yeah, so it's important for a patient to walk in, open-minded to treatment, but being aware of how psoriasis is impacting their lives, not being afraid to share their stories with us in a way that helps me understand, what it is that you need out of your therapy. And it's important for people to come into that with an idea as to what's worked, what hasn't worked, and, how would I make this as easy and effective for you as possible? And that's why we've partnered with the So Have You Found It campaign to really help provide some of those scripts and guidelines to, really develop that script for a visit and helping provide therapy for them.
So what are some of the current treatment options available for plaque psoriasis?
Well, plaque psoriasis has really gone through an evolution over the last 20 years or so, from light therapy and creams that people would have to apply to the involved areas to injectable medications called biologics, and oral medications like once daily Sotyktu or deucravacitinib, which is approved for treating moderate and severe chronic plaque psoriasis, that you can discuss with their dermatologist with its benefits and risks, like things like upper respiratory tract infections or coughs, colds, or cold sores, or acne-like eruptions on their skin.
And Nitika, what inspired you to become an advocate for your health? And what advice would you give to others living with plaque psoriasis?
I was diagnosed with plaque psoriasis many years ago. And when I first got diagnosed, I felt so alone. I felt so isolated. And it took me a while to figure out how to really have that sense of empowerment when I'm navigating my health. So I was really excited to partner with Bristol Myers Squibb on this So Have You Found It campaign because it is all about helping people figure out what it is that makes them uniquely them. So as they go to the doctor, as they talk to their specialist, as they navigate their plaque psoriasis journey, they can feel that sense of real empowerment. And that's something I always felt like I had to do by myself. So to have this resource now where people can visit sohaveyoufoundit.com and have scripts, as Dr. Libecco was saying, or watch videos on this conversation, it's really, really so special.
Can you tell us more about the So Have You Found It campaign and what drew you to get more involved?
Yeah, well, I really don't feel like anyone should have to navigate this journey by themselves. And when things like plaque psoriasis are happening to your body, when you're getting a diagnosis like that, it can feel overwhelming. It can be daunting. And so when people visit sohaveyoufoundit.com, they'll see videos of people like Mindy Kaling and Ted Danson sharing stories, really having a relatable conversation where people can feel less alone. And you also have a bunch of resources there where people can also go before you go to a doctor's visit, let's say, and check those out so that you can tap into that thing that makes you uniquely you and feel empowered as you go to the doctor and as you navigate your health.
Thank you, too, for joining me this morning. One more time, where can we go for more information and also learn more about this campaign?
You can go to sohaveyoufoundit.com.
Thank you, too, for joining me this morning.
Thank you.
As back to school season is here, shopping for the perfect wardrobe is on every parent's mind. So today we're joined by Melissa Bastos, a Director of Corporate Strategy and Insights at Cotton Incorporated, who's here to help us dive into what's trending this year and how families can find quality, affordable options for their kids. Welcome to the show, Melissa. How are you?
Thank you so much. I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. Back to school shopping has started. Back to school is here. How is it shaping up to be a different this year compared to some of the previous years?
It has definitely already started, and I think a lot of people are excited for it. Different this year, I know there's a lot of concern we see from parents around inflation and economy, and that could impact some of what they're purchasing. But most tell us it will not impact what they're buying for their kids for back to school, their clothing. And so they say they're going to spend about $472 per child. And that's up pretty significantly since last year, where they said $378 that they were planning to spend per child. So they're still going to be looking for deals and discounts and however they can make their money go farther. We also know almost 4 out of 10 say they might look at some secondhand stores to buy some used clothing to kind of supplement what they're buying for new as well.
So what are some of the key factors parents are considering when picking out their kids' back to school wardrobe?
Well, parents want their kids to be comfortable first and foremost. They're looking for comfortable clothing so that they can concentrate on their schoolwork. They also want to make sure that they're buying wisely. So they want to make sure that their money's going far. So they're looking for quality. They're looking for durability. And what we also know is that shoppers tell us that they tend to look for cotton clothing because they do associate that with being most comfortable, but also good quality clothes that last in their closet. I was just talking to somebody about how long they had their t-shirts, and we're saying, you know, I've had t-shirts for 25 years. That's one of the top items that students want in their wardrobes this back to school season.
And we've also heard that teens are prioritizing usually quality over style for the I guess the first time in a long time. What do you think is driving this shift?
Well, I think that kids are also being aware of, you know, they find clothing that they like, they want to hang on to it, they want to make sure it stays in their closet. So, you know, maybe they're going to prioritize quality a little bit more to make sure that those trendy styles that they do look for and those are important to them, that they'll stick around in their closets. But comfort is the top attribute for the teens too. That's what they want. Then they want good quality, but they want it to be trendy.
And where are parents finding the best deals on affordable and sustainable back to school clothing this year?
Well, we know parents are going to be looking wherever they can to find those deals and discounts. So they'll be shopping both a physical store and online. 94% actually tell us they're going to be shopping in a physical store. Most of those say they'll be shopping at mass retailers such as Walmart and Target. We also know off-price stores are on their list of places they're going to shop for clothing. And online, 7 out of 10 parents say they're going to be shopping online too. We know they've already started with Prime Days on Amazon. And Amazon is the top retailer. 84% of parents say that's where they're going to plan to shop when they're shopping online for back to school clothes.
All right, Melissa, thanks for joining me this morning. Where can we go for more information on any of this?
You can go to lifestylemonitor.cottonink.com if you're interested in more research around back to school shopping or on just how consumers shop. And you can go to thefabricofourlives.com. There's a Shop Cotton website there if you're looking for some of the comfortable cotton clothes.
Thanks for joining me this morning.
Thank you. Have a great back to school season.
It's back to school time, and many moms and dads are looking for the latest and greatest to make it an unforgettable school year. Lifestyle expert Megan Murphy is here with a checklist for all those heading back to the classroom. Hi, Megan.
Yay, thank you for having me. I partnered with some A++ brands for the ultimate back-to-school checklist.
Megan, how do we start back to school shopping?
Well, new clothes, right? I mean, I always loved back to school shopping, and Stitch Fix makes it easier than ever to do your back to school shopping. It is an online personal styling service that has clothes and accessories for the entire family. You can skip the store and have great style delivered right to your door. Styles from $12 for the kiddos from brands my kids love, and a really good deal right now. So for your first 2 fixes for new kids Stitch Fix customers, $50 off through August 25th. I signed my kids up and I got my first fix, which is this great green dress with pockets.
Now that the kids are looking good, how do we help them feel good throughout the day?
So I've always given my kids a multivitamin. I think it's really important to fill in those nutrient gaps in their diet and just promote overall wellness. And a company that's really changing the game in kids supplements is called Hiya, like a karate chop, Hiya. We're talking clean vitamins, so no gummy additives, no added sugar, no artificial flavors, no artificial colors. 15+ essential vitamins and minerals, and the packaging is so much fun. Right now, they have a limited edition Barbie collab that even comes with stickers for your kids to decorate the bottle.
It's been found that students who engage with learning games and toys may see enhanced cognitive skills and love for learning. What do you have for us today?
So I love that research, and this is a great toy. It's the Big Feelings Pineapple. It's from a company called Learning Resources, which calls itself the original influencer in the field of teaching kids through play. So when kids make faces with these funny pineapples, they're learning to express their emotions, to recognize emotions, which develops those those cognitive, social, emotional skills, which are really, really important to develop before the age of 5. This is available at Walmart for under $5.
We can't talk back to school time without chatting about technology. What stands out to you this year?
Well, in the tech space, it is all about AI, and there's something really fabulous from Dell. It is the Dell XPS 13, powered by the all-new Snapdragon X Elite compute platform, which has amazing AI performance. It also has Wi-Fi 7 and the Qualcomm Fast Connect 7800, which makes it really fast, really reliable. It also has great battery life, and that Snapdragon sound makes the audio so crisp.
And as we wrap up, what about parents? Do you have any back-to-school snacks to keep them going through this busy time?
I sure do. I drive a lot of carpool. You never want to see me hangry. And I love Think Bars. The minis have 6 grams of protein, 100 calories, dessert-inspired flavors like chocolate chip, and my favorite, which is cupcake batter. They're gluten-free. I stash them in my purse so that I am never hungry on the move.
Where can we go for more?
So for all things back to school, you can follow me on Instagram at Megan, MEAGHAN, B. Murphy.
Summer is coming to an end, and it's time to start thinking about ways we can get ready for the busiest season of the year, especially when it comes to easy meals and snacks. Here to help is TV host, supermom, chef Jessica Formicola, who is teaming up with Sprouts Farmers Market to provide some time-saving inspiration for busy families. Chef Formicola is a cookbook author, founder of SavoryExperiments.com, and she contributes to publications like Better Homes and Gardens and Country Living. Welcome, Jessica.
Thank you for having me.
Families are busy, especially this time of year. Do you have a tip to help us all out?
Yes, I do. As a mom with a very busy family, my top tip is to make sure we are planning ahead. And I like to plan healthy, nutritious, and satisfying meals. And Sprouts Farmers Market helps me get that done. They are great at solving the back-to-school mealtime dilemmas. They find healthy, tasty, and fresh favorites for the entire family. They're known for having the season's freshest, most delicious produce, and take extra care in curating uniquely healthy products to fit all of your family's dietary needs.
Starting our days off right are important. What do you suggest is a great way to do that?
Breakfast around my house is usually a scramble. I have little kids and we're trying to get them out of bed into the bus stop, but they like to start off their days with these mini pancake bites. They also love the turkey sausage and red pepper omelet bites, as well as frozen waffles and anything on a stick. So we take these mini pancake bites and pair them with fresh fruit, and we can take them on the go to the bus stop.
Share with us a lunchbox meal winner.
Well, lunchtime gets a little monotonous, right? So we want to make sure that we put different things in their lunch boxes. Make sure you have wholesome chips, fresh fruit, veggies, but then switch up the homemade sandwiches. I like to use the Sprouts turkey breast. It's Caesar wrap. This is a chicken Caesar wrap. It's pre-made. You can pick that up. Or a vegetarian snack box with hummus. Add in some Sprouts veggie straws and organic salted popcorn, and you won't have any leftovers in that lunchbox.
After school or anytime snacks, what do you got?
My kids love snacking, probably more than actual meals. So this snack board is perfect for them. It's made with a rainbow of veggies and fruits, and of course the Sprouts grain-free chicken nuggets or tenders. They're made with 100% natural white meat chicken, no artificial flavors, added hormones, or preservatives. And if I get them involved and I enjoy it with them, we can sit and have quality time together and talk about their day at school.
Do you have a dinner idea that everyone will love?
I'm a chef, but I don't cook every single day. We've got sports and extracurriculars, so a lot of times I let Sprouts do the preparing for me. Besides the ease, one of the best things about Sprouts prepared meals and chicken is that it has no antibiotics ever. So you can grab a ready-to-eat, heat, or cook convenience meal that's full of chef-approved flavors. My family loves the citrus chicken with spring vegetables and the Sprouts penne pesto pasta. They'll all be coming back for seconds.
Where can we go for more information?
You can find me at savoryexperiments.com, but you can find information on all of these and more meal solutions at sprouts.com.
And that's it for New Mexico Rising. I want to thank you for tuning in and checking out the show. If you actually want to be on the show, all you got to do is email me. That's newmexicorising@gmail.com. If you want to follow us on our social media, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. Just look up New Mexico Rising Television. We have a website, newmexicorising.com. That's where I put some of the books from some of the authors. They send them to us, and we will give those to you for free. All you got to do is pay for shipping. If you don't want to miss a show, we upload them every week to YouTube, so follow, like, share, all that other good stuff there. Just look up New Mexico Rising TV on YouTube. Thank you for being part of the show and checking it out. Until next week, that was New Mexico Rising.
Transform ordinary moments into extraordinary memories with our magical succulent bar. Whether it's a quiet moment of reflection or a first date, let the enchantment of nature enhance every occasion. Radiate positivity and create manifestations while making your very own magical succulent. Embrace the magic at Zinkstown, where we bring positivity to any occasion.